This is excellent. We're all alone. So I'm the only one watching.
Alone.
Yeah, we're alone. This is pretty impromptu. So, yeah. But I've got to. I mean, if I'm going to get any content out or start doing streams, I've got to work with my cowboy life in mind.
And Dave's here. Hey, Dave. Oh, we got a second person watching.
Dave. Yes. Okay, 2 people. Hey, yay.
Our one of our reliable audience members.
Right. Well, I got a little bit to talk about with basically proteins, Ellis theory, and multimerization or protein oligomers.
Okay.
Oligomers? Yeah. And Cell Cordova is going on about that, and he's trying to make some stupid, basically, what is it called? Complexity?
Irreducible complexity.
Irreducible complexity argument on protein dimers, trimers, tetramers, etc. Right? And it is just bullshit. And we need to.
That's just funny that we hear it so often, and yet we often don't call it by or that we forget what it's called. Like that one argument that we're I'm telling you, and I think Immutable and I talked this morning, and we're probably going to do a little book club thing on Otangelo's big book he put out. His 360-page monster that's full of quotes. The monstrosity.
Right, we're going to go through it. I think we're going to do chapter 1, and then we're going to do chapter 10, which is the conclusion, right? And it's all about irreducible complexity.
Okay. Is that pretty much the only interesting stuff in there, or?
Well, there's a lot of interesting...
The noteworthy stuff for right now?
Otangelo is pretty good at bringing interesting molecular biology to the table, right?
Right.
He's not very good at making, drawing conclusions from it. But Otangelo is, I think he's a pretty smart guy. And he's got, but he's a believer, and the believerism gets in the way of his smart. And he manages to lay out like the God of the Gaps thing in chapter 10. And I think he does a pretty good job of explaining why we keep fighting with creationists over this. Oh, it's God of the Gaps. No, it's science of the gaps or naturalism of the gaps. And he does a pretty good job of explaining how he's thinking about it. And I think it's important that we really try to get our minds around the way they think.
Right.
But anyway, so it all looks good. So we might, that sounds like a pretty exciting project. If I start it, I really want to follow through this time because I'm not very good at following through my project. So
yeah. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. You've been looking into eukaryotic phylogeny microbes?
Yeah, microbiology. Or have you heard of the channel Journey to the Microcosmos?
Oh yes.
Yeah, I've kind of been watching some more of their videos lately because I used to watch some of it here and there, but now I'm like, oh, this footage is pretty good actually.
It's real.
Yeah,
they have some killer. Yeah, they started out small, and then microscope companies started sponsoring them and giving them this.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
They give them this amazing equipment. That's why they're doing so good.
Yeah,
they've got some really badass equipment.
Yeah, or like I was saying backstage, like these things outnumber us 10, 100 to 1, but yet they're so interesting to look at anyway, and it's kind of funny and ironic that they're so common, and yet they're so underappreciated, understudied, I guess. Like you'll find animal phylogeny, or even plants and stuff like that, because they're visible organisms that we can see, and that frankly we're usually more interested in because, hey, we're animals. So that's kind of the unfortunate thing about it, or the ironic thing about it.
But even plants, to some degree, like this whole creationist religious argument is based around men and chimpanzees, and then we got all the other we got all the other animals, right? All the vertebrates, and then all the other higher order animals, and then we have fungi and plants, which are never talked about. But if you look at fungi and plants, particularly mushrooms and fungi, those fucking things are evolving constantly. I mean, they're really the basically new variations because of their genetics. They're constantly mixing up. And we never look at the good stuff, because if you want to see evolution, just look at that stuff. And the same with microbes.
Yeah. And if anyone out there listening, the pretty interesting fact that some fungi species, I believe, or I guess not what we might call a sex per se, but I guess in terms of biology or genetics, or however they're basing it on, there are some fungi species, and probably other groups besides that, but they have literally hundreds of sexes, or what are called mating types.
Oh, really?
So it's like it's not a binary black or white, or I guess male female kind of thing. It's okay, are you the same like chemical just mating type chemical fingerprint, basically, and if, or maybe it isn't, like I said, I don't know too much about it, but the one thing I do know is that it's a lot more complicated than ant or animal sexes.
Yeah, for one thing, they can start growing, and I think I forget what it's called. There's two different forms of growth. One is rhizome growth, or the rhizomoidal form, and there's another form that has a haploid genome, and those things can grow out and meet other ones, and then end up mating in that way. So they not only mate at the spore level, but they can mate at the mycelium.
They kind of fuse together and create a new fungus, basically.
Yeah, and they create a new variety.
Yeah, I forget what that's called, a plasma something. Yeah, I don't remember. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's primordium. Well, the primordium is what grows the actual, what we consider mushrooms. But it's really interesting. I'm just beginning to study it, and the problem is I can't find decent papers on mushroom embryology and molecular biology. There's not a lot. I mean, we've done a lot with yeast, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So, hi, Scott.
Hello. How's it going? Sorry I'm late, but traffic would not cooperate.
Scott, you're 55 nanoseconds late.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
Oh, y'all didn't start till a little bit, like a minute ago?
No, I'm just.
Yeah, we didn't start very long ago. I don't think we have anybody watching. But
golly, wonder where everybody is. There must be a funner stream.
Yeah.
So I think Gur was going live a bit ago. I don't know if he actually did. But...
Oh shit! Is he live?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that would be where everybody is. Let's see. Where is my? Why is my? Oh, there it is. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. Well, I've got an appointment at 5 o'clock my time, so I don't have too long.
So it'll just have to be a nice little nugget of knowledge.
Yeah.
Nuggets of knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yep.
You can use it. You have my permission.
Okay. Thanks. I guess
I get half
if I can.
money you make from it. I said I get half any money you make from it.
Okay.
Okay,
guess
so
while we're on the subject of fungi, just one last fun fact to throw out there, because like we've been saying, fungi are so interesting. The thing we actually see as the mushroom is just the fruiting body, like the actual fungus part of it. The body part of it is actually all underground, and it's called the mycelium, for anyone curious about that. Anyway,
and some of them are the biggest organisms on Earth, aren't they?
yeah. It's difficult to say which one's the biggest, because you can say, oh, if you're defining it by weight, then the sequoias, or not the sequoia, pando. If you heard that, pando, the trees there, aspens. By weight, those are the biggest, but by area, honey mushroom fungus, I believe, is the largest organism by area that it covers.
Yep.
It's like an entire state, I think it covers, or maybe smaller than that, but it's pretty big.
Yeah. And they communicate, and they actually end up transferring messages between tree roots and all sorts of things. They've been finding all kinds of new things. Like the movie Avatar, I think, was kind of based on some of that research. The idea that there's a neural net of.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That would make sense, though. That got inspiration from that.
Oh, Germania got derailed. Otherwise, he would have sucked up all our viewers, because he's so much better than us. Anyway.
Wait, so he isn't live right now, I guess?
No, I guess he isn't. So.
Okay.
Anyway, you said you've been doing some stuff on phylogeny of eukaryotes?
Yeah, I guess. Well, or didn't you have something you want to talk about first?
Well, we can get to it if we get to it. We'll get to it if we get to it.
Speed, always putting yourself last. Shouldn't do that.
I do. Well, I think it's the right thing and the gentle thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm old and I'm irrelevant.
Everyone give a thumbs up for Speed.
No, that's old and irreverent.
Yeah, you're reverent too.
You're the anti-Boy Scout.
Yep, the anti-Boy Scout.
Surprised you went back to that old avatar you got there.
I like it because it's part of. I'm in the process of changing who I am.
Ah, okay.
And I have no idea if I'm going to be a prick, or if I'm going to be a redneck, or
So what you're saying is you're in flux right now.
I'm in flux. Yeah, I'm launching into this. Like, okay, I've been alive for 71 years. I've had a good life. I really don't care what I do next. Other than that, I want it to be different, something new, something new.
You ever thought about playing the upright bass?
Well, do you need a band member there, Scott?
Well, I'm thinking. I'm actually seeing you in a black fedora.
Oh yeah, let's do
sunglasses and an upright bass.
No, we're gonna do the Blues Brothers, you and I.
Well, no, not the Blues Brothers, but
okay, we're gonna do nothing but basically punk rock, right? Okay.
Well,
I could see you doing
that either.
Punk rock Blues Brothers.
Punk rock,
but
sounds like a whole new music genre.
Yeah.
That way, when we have to live out on the streets, we can stand on the corners and collect money for music.
Yeah. Well, I got a shit voice, but I think I could probably. I think it would actually work for something like punk rock, or what the fuck, Du Hast. My brain is not working today. That's odd. Well, it's 4:00. I get it. Okay, my brain doesn't work at 4:00. Rammstein. Yeah, that sort of thing. Those kind of voices I could probably do. So we got to do punk. We got to do punk rock, electric punk rock, brass band. Yeah, there we go. Fusion music with blues, punk rock, and whatever.
Fusion, ha.
It's like, what if a group of musicians on Star Trek had a transporter accident? We would do that.
Okay, yeah. Sounds
Wait,
good.
what? What?
He said a fusion, so I thought, well, if there was a transporter
fusion.
accident on a
Correct.
starship of,
Yeah.
of band musicians, we would fuse together, and we
Yes.
could do that.
Okay, yeah, I didn't get that. Sorry.
We have left the planet. Okay.
I actually thought that was going to be a hit. I'm just disappointed in myself.
I'm not I watch it sometimes, but I'm not a Star Trek geek.
Yeah. So what kinds of things are you discovering? Okay, let me put something out there. Okay, the protein evolution in basically higher order animals. We're looking for remnants in other eukaryotes and in prokaryotes and in archaea,
Right.
and and all across the kingdoms for.
Well, our archaea are technically prokaryotes, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they are, but bacteria and archaea. So
Yeah.
we're looking for homologies and differences and stuff like that. So when you look at microbes, I'm guessing it's an entirely different world than vertebrates.
Oh yeah.
Because they don't have to do the whole embryogenesis thing most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
well, sometimes I think they I don't know which ones do it, but to reproduce, they basically kind of like the fungi, they fuse together, so two cells will bump against each other and just merge into one bigger cell that then splits, and that's how you get the recombination of the genes.
Yep.
I guess, but I don't remember which ones, or maybe most of them do that. I'm not sure. But
yeah. And then
eukaryote diversity is very, very large. Like it's not just, or well, protists for that matter. What we used to call protist diversity, I've been finding is a lot more varied than most people take credit for. Like, in high school, they just called them plant-like protists and fungi-like protists and animal-like protists, and that's where you get your amoeba and whatnot.
Yep.
But it turns out there are some that are more closely related to plants, some more closely related to animals and fungi. And yes, fungi and animals are closer to each other than fungi are to plants. And then you got other groups of eukaryotes that are just on their lonesome. They're not related to anything visible or macroscopic. So it's a big world of protists that we've probably barely stepped into at this point.
Yeah, and then the other thing is, the other surprising thing, like I just ran into this video, 10 craziest things that cells do. And I think one of them was like an amoeba that you can see. Like it was.
Oh, yeah.
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 There
are some that are big enough to see and touch.
Yeah. Cells are small, simple, and stupid. Yeah. 10 surprising things that cells do. And these are all single cells that he's showing here. Right? I mean, you wouldn't expect cells to have such complicated forms.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They can have a large number of shapes, like all those spikes and spines, and some make little shells around them, like actual, I think like tests they're called. Yeah. It's like I said, lots of variety.
Here's a 1.5-inch amoeba.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they can.
And they leave trails on the ocean floor as they move along. So they leave tracks. And okay, this one is 10 centimeters long, and it's a single cell green algae. And this is iBiology. I will link this in the description. Then multinucleate.
I thought I recognized the format.
Yeah, syncytial cells or multinucleate cells can be even more gigantic. And I guess he's showing an example. I think these are single multinucleate cells. They all merge together. Well, that's actually how your blood vessels form. Your very, very tiny capillaries. They hollow out. Basically, they how the hell is that? Yeah, they basically join up at the tip to tip, and then they dissolve the membrane between the two cells, and they become like very tiny capillaries. It's a kind of angiogenesis, or the generation of veins, which is kind of cool in here. And then they got these cells that always go left. No matter what they do, they go left. They only move left. And anyway,
that's interesting. What's this video called?
This is 10 of the craziest things that cells do, and it's on iBiology. Wallace Marshall, University of California, San Francisco. 10 craziest things cells do.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna watch this one. This looks interesting.
Yeah, I'll put that in the description here in just a second. You work on that. Anyway, okay, go on. You had more stuff.
Well, I saw he showed a Dileptus there, and I think it was you can think of them as the like you said, the vampires, but kind of the elephant vampires of the cellular domain.
Dileptus?
Cells do. That's pretty good.
It's you said Dileptus?
Yeah, Dileptus. I think it's a genus. It's definitely not a species.
Dileptus.
Yeah.
Dileptus.
Got the little proboscis attached to their. It's weird. The trunk is the main body.
Oh, yeah,
of
those
proboscis is, yeah, they're cool to look at.
Yeah.
They like to eat a lot of stuff. This.
Yeah, they have that little
flinging that thing around and hitting whatever they can find.
Yeah, and this thing just like extends very rapidly, and that's all done with actin filaments.
Yep.
And basically that is related to flagella development and a number of other things. But we have a lot of cells in our body, but actin tends to crawl like that really rapidly because it polymerizes at the tips in one way. And those are, actin is called microfilaments, and microtubules are called, I don't know, they're the largest, they're macrofilaments. But
do I snort when I laugh?
I don't think so.
Huh.
I haven't heard that.
Maybe never mind. Continue.
Maybe it's Loki or Thor. Anyway, okay. So you mentioned Dileptus, and I will throw that in my description.
And I think there are some that what are they called? Heliozoa, I think, maybe. Might be wrong, but they have little actual extensions of the cell membrane, so they're not just spines that grow out. They're little folds that form these little spine shapes, and whatever they pierce with it, that's what they have as their food, basically. I think it's Heliozoa. Yeah, there we go.
Right there. Yep. Animal.
Yeah, that's what all these were called originally. Animalcules by Leeuwenhoek.
Louis Jablot, he wrote that probably a long time ago. So we got Actinophorida, Centrohalida, Desmothoracidae, Taxopodida, and Rotospheridae. Ooh, currently Opisthecanta. Why? That one's been on my radar. Oh, I guess that's why.
Yeah. Yep, we're in Opisthecanta.
Oh, the Opisthecons, right? Yeah, that's a broad classification. Cool.
Rhizaria. I don't know if I've ever looked at rhizarians before.
Rhizarians, where are they? Radiolaria. Did I have rhizarians down there?
That's right there.
Ooh,
right. In blue, I think. Yeah.
Are an ill-defined but species-rich supergroup of unicellular eukaryotes. Oh, we got to look at these. So let's see. Chromista.
Yeah, these guys, I think, and some other ones, they form a group that is like an acronym for all three of the groups that it's composed of, and it's called SAR. I don't know. I think it might be enclosed by other larger groups, but those larger groups are still pretty uncertain as far as I know.
Okay.
So like they're instead of,
here we go, SAR supergroup right here.
Yeah, so instead of SAR, SAR, there's some scientists that are proposing SAR as in TSAR. But yeah, there's larger groupings. I actually talked with someone about this recently. The problem is, because all this diversity exists, and because it probably happened so rapidly early on in eukaryotic evolution, it's very difficult to figure out the node of the eukaryotic tree. And
you mean science doesn't know?
Yeah, science doesn't know. It's all wrong.
So they must be all wrong if they're still
They're all wrong.
Yeah, here's the phylogenetic tree for Rosaria.
Yeah, so Rhizaria,
Rhizaria, and then its sister group here, Helveria. This is, yeah, we got to know more.
Yeah, like I was telling Speed backstage, it's basically ironic because they're so numerous and they're so fundamental to life on Earth, and yet they're so underappreciated and understudied, basically. Or
look at this guy.
People, when you grow up, probably don't say, "Oh, I want to study protists when I grow up."
Well, they're kind of like God. You can't see them until they kill you.
That's true. Yeah, they're harder to see, basically.
Look at this guy.
Ooh,
he's got some filaments. Let's see. Pretty cool. Yeah, I've got a bunch of books on microbiology, and I have tried a few times to crack them open and get into them. But
forams are in Rhizaria. I didn't know that.
What is?
I said foraminifera is in Rhizaria, or at least according to this tree it is. I didn't know that. Those are one of those little chalk forming. Yeah. Among other groups.
I think we put Scott to sleep.
Probably. Sorry.
Anyway.
No, I'm following along. What he's saying reminds me of Jackson Wheat for some reason. I think he talks about some of these in his videos.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So I was paying attention. No.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, Scott. I just like fucking with you every now and then. Anyway. Oh, cool. Okay.
I did put a thing in the side chat that I was eating my lunch, and so
you gotta be muted. Yeah. You gotta be muted.
My hands are not free.
Yeah. And you don't want me to go into a murderous rage.
That's right. I don't want to trigger my bass player.
Yeah.
My future upright bass player.
Right.
Well, I must be doing something right then. Apparently people are following along.
Good.
Ha. The thing about the things. Yeah.
I gotta throw some of these things in my.
Well, another interesting thing I've been looking into is, or looking back into, is all the shared traits between these major groups, and besides just the near universal genetic code, but also, has anyone really thought about why we only have 20 amino acids? Or 20 or so amino acids that most life uses? Why didn't the designer use more than that or less than that for some reason?
I just thought they couldn't afford the payments.
There are hundreds available.
Yeah, exactly.
How much of this stuff do we have genomes for? Let me see if.
Probably very few.
Well, hang on a second here. We got, let's see, PubMed 51.
Or maybe some of them. Like You probably have some from every group or so, but it's probably underrepresented compared to animals because we've sequenced a lot of animals. But like compared to that, we probably have less full sequences of protist genomes.
Let's see here. Let's go back to NCBI, all databases. Okay, where's the Loki? We get the fuck out of taxonomy. Here we go.
I appreciate that, Carol, though I doubt I'm ever going to get a Nobel Prize, especially with the things I'm interested in.
I think you'll get a Nobel Prize in humility.
Thank you.
Oh, let me see here. How in the fuck do I do this? Homology, protein sequence analysis, taxonomy. You think taxonomy would
I mean, who knows? Like they used to not have a Nobel Prize for astronomy, and now they do, or something similar to astronomy. So,
ooh, look at this.
Maybe they'll have a Nobel Prize for evolution specifically. I don't know.
What do we got here? Okay, translation. I don't know what we have. Nucleotide 1, PopSet, how to cite this resource.
I don't know what you have because your screen is so small that I can't read anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at NCBI and trying to see if I can.
Ooh, taxonomy browser.
Okay, how to cite this resource. Let's see, PMC. What do we got here? Wow. I think that was something we have a genome for. NCBI. Nice. Comprehensive. Okay, that's not what I want. That's like a general bullshit thing. But it looks like for this Aqua Volanida, which I think is
never heard of that one.
It's in Rhizaria.
Oh, okay.
It looks like we might have a genome for that, and I'm trying to figure out how to look at it. Anyway, I'll look further into that because that would be really exciting to do some really far out group.
Question when y'all have a pause.
I have a pause. You just paused it, so go ahead.
See, I hate doing that, but I wanted to reserve time for a question, but I didn't want to interrupt the flow. But by letting that be known, I interrupt the flow, and man, I feel bad about that. But
bold of you to assume that there was a flow to begin with.
Yeah. You know, yesterday, I think Dr. Dan, he did a kind of a humorous thing. He said, well, since everybody's doing their hot takes, since Twitter may not be here tomorrow, he wrote a thing that said, I don't think species are a valid category and it should be done away with.
Really?
Yeah, and I've heard him talk about that along those lines. But in all your conversations with him, Andrew, have you heard him talk about that? Like, what would he replace that with?
Every once in a while, I think. I don't think he definitely isn't fond of the, maybe not fond, but he definitely doesn't think species is a good concept. And I would agree with him to some extent.
Oh my God, we got a genome for Circomonas. It's a Rhizaria. This is a genome.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it would certainly take away the tension of, they always talk about how with species, you've got a new species when they've reached a point where they can't any longer mate with their ancestors.
Right. The trouble with that, though, is that that's based on what's called the biological species concept, and that's kind of the issue, is that there are so many. That's only one species concept, and there are so many that sometimes it's more useful to use one and not the other.
Yeah,
and that's why some people say, well, we should just do away with species as a term altogether, because now that we're basing things on how they evolved, and maybe like genetic lineages would be better to track instead of what counts as a new species and what doesn't count as a new species, because fundamentally at the end of the day, and because life is all connected with each other, there isn't really a cut and dry distinction or boundary between different species. It's very much like a spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
but
one of the things that always confused me about that definition is the fact that Homo sapiens and Neanderthal, and I guess to some extent Denisovians all interbred. At least they
Right.
interbred with humans, and it's like, okay, so how does that make them separate species?
Well, I
Other
think
than
that's
them
why,
looking
like, or Erica might know more about this, but I think that's why some people once classified them as Homo sapiens neanderthalensis, so like as a subspecies of human. Yeah, like that would be based on, or I guess that would be kind of the exception to the rule, because you obviously can't go and see if one dinosaur could breed with a chicken or something like that.
Well,
And
one don't they have some brain casings from Neanderthals that I keep saying it's ta Neanderthals, where the brain casings show a brain that's about the same size as human brains.
yeah, and there are some that are larger even.
Yeah, so that tends to me to shrink the species category between the two. So
Yeah.
If you're out there, Erica, at the gym or something, maybe send us a note, something to clarify. Maybe click the link and hop in.
Yeah, Erica hasn't been here in a while. It's made me sad.
Well, she put out a really good video today, just this afternoon.
She's pretty busy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know she's doing content. I just wish I could.
Yeah, she used to be more available.
Stuff with her every once in a while, but oh well.
But hey, anyway. She's doing all those studies and stuff.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's true.
I want to do a big yabat.
Yabba yabba do.
Yeah, my uncles used to call me Amana, like I'm going to, because I kept saying I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and then they also called me Yabat. Yabat and Amana were my childhood names, because I'd always be but consider this. Consider that I may not have to move that wood pile. Consider that I may have to go swimming instead. Yeah, but anyway, on species, right? I mean, there are clusters, and we know there are clusters, right? And even though it's complex, and there's outliers, right? There's outliers here, but we still have to have a word for these clusterings, right? And in statistics, when you have clusterings, you need a word for it. We could call it cluster, I guess, but or we could just call it species. So I kind of disagree.
Yeah, that's kind of the opposite side of it too. Is that obviously like a platypus is a different species, if we want to call it that, than a grizzly bear.
Right. By the time you get far out in this clustering, but Dr. Dan is making a good point. It's just that I don't think you make that point by throwing away the word.
Right. Yeah. They're just different ways of looking at it, because there are so many exceptions, but also, like you said, there are cases where we can say, this is a different species in this. So it's complicated.
Yeah.
Well,
life is complicated.
Right.
Let's
definitely.
Just put it that way.
It sure is.
The word species was probably used prior to the theory of evolution.
Oh yeah.
So it's like species inherited a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
And now we're stuck with it, and it's just not quite an adequate term.
I don't think it was even Linnaeus who came up with it. I think it was someone called John Ray, and Linnaeus kind of borrowed from him and others. And then we've even got like some baggage from Linnaean taxonomy still, even after we've come up with the theory of evolution. So a lot of older concepts that maybe need to be put down.
Yeah. I want to take a moment to do a little bit of housekeeping and channel business here.
Okay.
Let's see.
Sorry, I was just laughing at Nerdy Rodent's comment.
See, this is why every time he comes on the episode anymore on the side chat, I give him 1 million speed bumps. He's just so nerdy.
Okay.
Where'd you find this speed? Did you draw it?
No, I got it from Christopher Cas9. Yeah, they used to put this on forums where Sal Cordova showed up.
Oh.
So anyway,
I thought they only did this to Otangelo. I was like, didn't they do this once for Otangelo's face? I guess not.
Anyway, this is channel business. We have to do a little bit of cell bashing, at least 1 or 2 minutes in every show. So this is our okay. So we're done now. We're done cell bashing. So
Okay.
I just wanted to put that out there. Otherwise, he'll feel bad if we don't bash him and stock him, right?
Put it out there. Put a pin in it.
Yeah, put a pin in it. Anyway, so
did you have protein stuff you want to go over?
I got a little bit. Let's see. 10 surprising things. We did that.
Looks like we're coming up on time, so we may only have time to discuss 1 or 2 other things.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we need to take note of Jay's question here.
Oh no! What do you do now?
Yeah. Do we want to get Jay in here to talk about it?
What did he do? Did you guys see what? Oh no! Oh no! Oh yes! Come on, Jay.
Come on in, Jay. I'm intrigued. You have intrigued me.
I don't know if I have his email or not.
I just sent him an invite.
Okay. Cool.
Anyway. Yeah, we got to go soon. So, well, I guess, if you guys want to sit around and talk, but I'm going to be totally not listening.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
Scott has
you have
mod powers, don't you, Scott? So you could end it if you need to.
Well, I can end it, but I don't have all the fancy stuff.
Right.
Fancy stuff?
The music at the end and all that.
Oh, yeah, well, that's okay. Well, you have access to Brand, don't you?
I don't think so.
Oh, you don't have those things loaded on your computer, I think.
Correct.
If you go to Brand and you go to the end, you don't have the videos that I've loaded up? I bet you do.
Wait a minute. Let me find my glasses. I lost my glasses.
Go to Brand.
Where's it say?
There's only power. And now I have the power.
That's called I Has the Power.
Okay. Now, first of all, you need to show me where Brand is.
Brand is on the right-hand menu bar. We're under comments, banners.
Oh, that little palette?
Yeah. Go to Brand. Go down.
There's Jay.
Mark Hamill is a good person to listen to.
Hello.
Hello.
Howdy, Jay. So
Did you say?
tell us this tale of Otangelo.
Yeah.
What?
He
I
called
can't
in.
barely hear anybody.
Really?
Oh, well.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Personal problems personified.
Oh, was that on Nathan's call-in show?
There we go.
Okay, is that Nathan's call-in show that he just did today?
No, it wasn't today. It was yesterday or day before. Day before. It was, night before last, I think. I've got the link.
Oh, good.
There is only power. And now there is only...
Oh, sorry.
What is going on?
Okay,
I found the Brand stuff. You're going to regret this, Speed.
Okay, the way I end the show is with AIA, logo reveal extended, right above I Has the Power. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm probably going to regret this.
But
But
I'm sorry for interrupting, Jay. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Y'all go ahead.
Oh, I put the link in the side chat here if you want to put it on the live chat. It's for Nathan Orman's other channel, Late Night with Nathan Orman.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
see.
But I think one of Otangelo's claims was is that all living organisms use ATP.
Right.
Oh,
And then Nathan goes, viruses don't.
nope. But then Otangelo says, but viruses aren't living organisms.
Yeah.
Anyway, here it is. So let's see. Yeah, that one.
It's basically an hour and a half of Otangelo trying to validate an argument from analogy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to do a series on his book. We decided this morning that with Immutable Destiny, He's very interested in going through his book, and his book is actually pretty short. It's 360 pages, but it's like 90% quotes from other people. So
Right.
and going through just the part that Otangelo wrote will probably take about 25 minutes. So anyway,
has somebody run it through a plagiarism checker yet?
oh my God!
Oh no.
He uses illustrations from textbooks, I think, and stuff like that. And I don't think he doesn't attribute any of them. He doesn't have attribution anywhere for them. So I think he may end up in some trouble. I don't know. But I don't know. Nobody gives a shit anymore, I guess. About
I hope nobody reports him to Amazon for plagiarism.
Yeah, that would be cruel. Hey,
So who bought the book?
Probably Otangelo's mama. I don't know.
Otangelo sent it to me, but unfortunately, when he formatted his PDF document, he did line feeds everywhere, so you can only highlight one line at a time. You can't drag and highlight a whole section, and so he even fucked up the PDF format. So I might have to buy it so I can highlight better, you know.
Oh yeah, you can do it he's got a Kindle version, right?
Yeah, I think he does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's he at here? Okay, what is it called? On the Original Life by Means of. Let's see here.
He sees himself as the creationist version of Darwin.
There it is.
Really?
What?
Oh yeah.
That's an interesting turn.
Otangelo is more Sal Cordova thinks of himself as a creationist version of fucking Newton, you know. So the Original Life. So this whole thing, it's absolutely amazing. His contents, if you look at them, he has a content entry like look, he has 1, 2, 3, 4 content entries for page 31.
Yeah.
So like his contents is kind of like an index, you know, so it's kind of funny. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got 5 on page 31. So,
I wonder.
I mean, it's that way all the way down. I ain't shitting you.
Does he have a bibliography?
71, he has 3 pages. Yeah, he does do a bibliography at the end of every chapter, and I'm really proud of him.
This makes me wonder if he ever read a book.
Okay, but watch this now.
Why would you do a bibliography at the end of every chapter?
Okay. Well, a lot of people do, and I kind of like that format because it's a lot easier. But yeah, but watch this now. I'm gonna highlight, right? Oh, it worked. What the fuck? That one worked. Okay, some of them, yeah. Okay, that one didn't. You see, I tried to highlight the entire paragraph, and it only highlights the first line because I think he put line feeds in the PDF.
Oh.
What happens if you do a file conversion?
It might work out, but I don't know if they're going to catch that because I don't know what he did or I don't know how you would fuck a PDF up like this, but he fucked it up somehow. So you got to go down. So I got to do this on every
maybe. So maybe there's a case to be made that he could even fuck up a wet dream.
Yeah, it could happen. Anyway,
sorry, I couldn't help myself. I haven't been on a live stream in a while, so I'm trying to behave myself.
But no, I was reading in chapter 10, and the guy is smart, and I can see where he's coming from with his arguments. But he's thinking, but he drives you crazy because he thinks. Well, Sal Cordova does this too. It's like evolutionists don't think rationally, but we do, and then they go ahead and they put together the shittiest fucking argument, and you're like, okay, wait a minute, you know, it's like, how can you think that you standing in a crowd?
No one else has thought about this.
10 million people that you're the only one that thinks rationally. Now, that's exactly the kind of shit you say before they strap you in a straitjacket and haul you off to a mental institution, right? I'm the one, you know. I'm the.
There is no spoon. I am your Neo.
You are the one Neo.
Yeah, exactly.
The cake is a lie.
Anyway, okay, so I put that, I leaked that for everybody.
Sorry, different series.
Also I'll put it out in comments here. You don't have a wrench or what, Jay? You have a wrench?
Yeah, I have a wrench.
Yeah, he's got a wrench. Everybody's got a wrench.
Well, you could have done it. Everybody has a wrench except Otangelo. Well, even Otangelo has a wrench now. I haven't taken it away from him lately, but I will.
Yeah, I don't see any non-wrench people. Well, Regios, do you need a do you need a
That's we're talking about it. Anybody want a wrench? Anybody want a spanner?
I don't want Regios to feel bad.
Black Friday giveaway. Handing out spanners left and right.
Yep. Well, the only reason I give a wrench to Otangelo is so I can take it away occasionally.
Oh, that's mean.
I know. I'm not a nice guy.
Yeah, it's like when you get a dog excited about its favorite chew, and then you go, here you go, and then you take it away, and the dog just looks at you like, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, kind of like that. Anyway, but yeah, it's interesting to try to understand how creationists think.
Well, the thing is that they're trying to demonstrate something that they believe to exist,
right?
By looking at products and saying, but because we have this product, this producer makes sense because there's something that they're emotionally invested in when it comes to that producer,
right?
And that's not really a good scientific approach to take, because if you're just showing something to exist and saying, hey, I think there's this thing that may exist in states of affairs, okay, it either exists or it doesn't exist. Cool. But when it comes to this God, well, there's something that people can possibly get out of it. So,
right.
Yeah. It creates a confirmation bias.
You're kind of saying if like the designer, aka God, wasn't God basically, then no one would really be paying much attention to it, pretty much.
Yeah. It would be if I were to
maybe a few people, but like probably not as many as we have nowadays.
Well, yeah, it's like if you teach somebody who's never heard of whales, and you tell them that there's whales that exist, and they go, "Oh, neat." Right? Okay, cool. Whales exist. But it's not like, okay, now they know something. Now they have gained knowledge about something in reality that they didn't know about before. Okay, where do they go from there?
You could have lied to them. Where you would go from there is you'd go out and see a whale and say, oh yeah, they do exist.
Yeah. Either way, but you have the example of the thing within reality. Right. They're trying to get to the example of, they're trying to use example like Otangelo does in the video about turbines, right? Turbines, but and Nathan basically tells him what everybody's been telling him. I've never seen a God make these things. Right. We have examples of people making turbines. I have no examples of a God or gods making anything. And he has a lot of theists have a hard time, especially Christians, grappling with that logic.
Yeah, right. In his book, he covers that in chapter 10, where he says what they're trying to do is they're trying to reduce naturalism to a religion just like they have, right? And then they're claiming that you can't prove naturalism and you can't prove God. So they're on the same footing. So he's trying to say it's either or, right? And now I can make the best inference, okay, because God is the best inference for complex things like a flagella. Right?
That's a fallacious sandwich if I've ever tasted
one.
Well,
it is for a number of reasons, and one of them is that nobody understands that we all live as strict naturalists. Every day of our lives, we behave in a natural world and we seek naturalistic answers for everything we do in our daily life. If you go up and look in your refrigerator and your fucking sandwich meat is gone, you go yell at somebody because that one of your roommates took it, right? Because this has happened before. And we reduce, if you can't find your car keys, you don't pray for them. You don't sit there and meditate for them. You go look for the fuckers because you know that in the past you put them somewhere in a natural.
Or you get a Bluetooth tile and you have it connected to your phone, so you get on a little app and it'll tell, and you hit a little button and it'll ring.
Can you do that?
Yeah, you never heard of tiles?
No, they fucking have them for you. Oh, I want to put one on my remote.
Yeah, they make little sticky ones, little round sticky ones that you can put on your remotes and shit. So yeah, you connect to the app, and then so if you lose something, you go on the app, and the tile is designated for like your remote, your keys. They make some for wallets and purses and all this shit. They make little key fob ones, and then you can just hit the button as long as the Bluetooth's enabled on your phone and it's paired with the little, fob or whatever. You hit the button and it'll locate. It'll make a ringing sound, and it'll even tell you. It'll even every once in a while tell where it was last placed.
That would have saved me so much fucking time. But right now I have, let's see, where the hell is it here? Oh, go back to the watch. I have this thing right on my watch, so I can just hit this little button over here, and it makes my phone ring. Yep. So I've been able to locate my phone if it's in with. Cool. Yeah, but I need this other thing that you're talking about. I need this. I need to put it on my Apple remote. My Apple TV remote is so fucking. Apple makes everything so light and so tiny that you can never fucking find it.
Yeah, I make. I keep just a basic tile fob on my dog's collar. So if she ever got out or got loose or anything, I just drive around. You just keep hitting the button, and you'll hear it ring.
Oh, I should do that with my kids.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, cool.
It's cheaper than buying one of those fit collars or whatever, worth like $150. Those things have like active GPS and shit on them.
Oh.
Yeah. And the other thing about evolution that just kills me is like, and I try to explain this. When I started studying embryology, I did not believe in advance that a zygote could turn into a human being. I mean, we all know that a single cell, the egg and the sperm turn into us, right? We all know that.
Right.
So I know that, I have a common sense idea. But when I approached embryology, I was extremely skeptical because how the fuck does that work? I kept asking myself, how does this work? How does this work? And then I investigated it and I found out how it worked. And we do the same thing with evolution. We don't start out saying, oh, we know evolution is true because, we have faith. And now we're going to go ahead and study how it happened. No, it's like we don't know a fuck of a lot of things. And we're very skeptical. And because we are skeptical, we try to find every point from point A to point B. We try to find those pathways. So their thinking is completely turned around from what methodological naturalism dictates. And that's what fucking kills me about them. They keep wanting to say that we have this faith and this, this religion. And it's like, no, we don't even appeal to that at all. All we do is we appeal to empirical evidence and fucking things that we can test in the laboratory. Every single piece that goes into evolution has been tested in the laboratory. We know this shit happens.
The other thing they have to get over is what you know doesn't make it real.
Yeah.
You don't have to, things can be real. Things are what they are, regardless of whether or not you know or believe them. That's just how things are. And people seem to have it's like when they say, well, if you say, I heard some idiot Christian the other day on their channel say, well, if you're saying Jesus Christ, like if you stub your toe and you go, oh, Jesus Christ, right? Well, that just tells me that you know Jesus to exist. I'm like, oh, you fucking moron. I'm like, what are you, 5?
I got Jesus in my toe.
But speaking of zygotes and pregnancy, I posted another link, and it's to a short that's pretty funny. It's the Republican, because somebody decided to do like a little cheeky video because of the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade. Right. So yeah, that's a funny little clip. I think it's safe for audiences, for adult audiences.
Let's see here. Where are we at?
You put in the private chat?
You know what I hate about YouTube Shorts? Number one, it always comes up with the audio off. I can never find the fucking audio on button. Let's see here. Okay.
I don't like YouTube Shorts.
How was it made? He said, how was it made? It doesn't. That's the thing. You don't have to know that. If you don't have an answer for how something came about, you just say, "I don't know."
Somebody want to tell me
Don't
how to
try
do
to
it?
fill in the gap. You don't try to fill in the gap with something that you could just go spaghetti.
Well, that's the other thing too is like science builds off of itself. Like we're not constantly testing things over and over again because that wouldn't really get us anywhere. And I think it's rather than saying like how if it's natural or supernatural or not, like just say, okay, we're starting off with what we do know from kind of this circle of knowledge of things we do know, and then venturing into the unknown, the kind of the thing beyond that. But we're not going and saying, well, I don't know how this was formed or how this was made, so it must have been something that I don't know about yet, because you have to start off with the options you do know about in order to go to the things you don't know about, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I've got an appointment, so I've got to go. So let me play this real quick.
Okay.
And let's see. Okay, apparently you turn the sound on by clicking up there, but there's no way to. Is there any way to restart this thing at the beginning?
They
It'll
just
start
kind of
by itself.
they cycle through. They just
Yeah.
kind of repeat themselves. They just keep going.
Yeah, because they're fucking idiots.
Thanks.
I feel pregnant.
Then don't wait. Order today and join the millions of Americans who just can't stop saying thanks.
I feel pregnant.
What the fuck? That's pretty good. Anyway, are you gonna run this thing, Scott, while I leave?
Do you have anything you want to continue on and say, Andrew or Jay?
I just got you to end your stream with a spousal abuse video.
I think that's a good note to end on.
That was a good note to end on. Yeah. Anyway, you end her for me, Scott. I'm gonna get out of here.
Okay. My dog sounds like she's being abused, but I swear I haven't touched her.
Okay, but
That's why she's sounding like that. You're ignoring her.
I just want to
right.
make this clear. Scott is in charge, and if this stream ends right now, it's because it's Scott's fault, not mine. But I gotta go. So, goodbye, cruel world. I'll see you guys later.
See you, Speed.
Bye,
Good luck,
Speed.
Scott. Good luck, Scott.
Well, here we are, guys.
Why does Otangelo want to come in and talk about Muppets? Am I not getting something here?
I would say that'd be a better conversation than I've had with him talking about Muppets.
He probably thinks they're evidence of intelligent design.
They're evidence of Jim Henson.
A Muppet maker or a Muppet requires a Muppet maker.
What are Muppets ontologically dependent upon? The Muppet maker.
Or Muppet. A Muppet voice requires a Muppet voice over. I don't know.
I say you bring Gur in.
Yeah, that might be interesting.
He's always got nothing. He's always got nothing worth saying.
Oh, Otangelo was saying I'm making sense now. That probably means I'm not making sense.
Has How Was It Made been up there all this time, or did Speed just find it that special?
No, that was there before.
Okay.
There we go.
Well, golly, guys.
Maybe I'm just out of sync with side chat, so I don't know what people are responding to.
Well, maybe we can just go ahead and put the link out there, and I'll just let people know when I decided to end it.
Just turn his live stream into a complete clusterfuck.
Yeah, why not? Just ruin it.
So you're saying this is going to become a new species, Jay?
What's that?
the stream.
Oh yeah, we were going to see the evolution happen in front of our very eyes. Like I said,
Roar, if you want to come in, and anybody else who has something new to contribute or something not tired and worn out and useless and refuted over and over, yeah, just come on in.
I mean, I do, but I've got stuff, but it's not science related, so I'm not gonna.
Well,
I'm gonna
it doesn't
save
have
it
to
for
be
my.
science related, man. I'm not a one trick pony.
Oh, gotcha.
What's it related to?
Oh, it's a YouTuber.
A YouTube link? Did you say?
Huh?
Did you say
No,
YouTube link?
It's another YouTuber. Are you familiar with a YouTuber that goes by the name Christ Righteous Ministries?
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Who?
He's the one who came out with that book that was lampooned over and over by different, and he plagiarized a bit.
God is. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a new one.
He's just another loser.
I think woolly ignorance is onto something. Muppets fundamentally require socks and buttons. I think we might have the ultimate foundation of our reality wrong here.
We're a Muppet-based universe.
No, he's got to go.
Muppet-based universe, yes.
He's got to go. He's got to go more He's got to go. He's got to go more reductio, fabric and plastic.
Well, this stream just got interesting.
To talk about what is necessary for Muppets.
Oh, Otangelo, you're always good for a laugh, even if you're not trying to make us laugh.
Yeah, when you get a chance, just that video from Nathan Orman's channel. That one's only it's like an hour and a half long. The title was a little clickbaity because he said something about him kill screening or something like that, but kill screen that doesn't happen.
Oh,
but the conversation is
really why I would watch it anyway. But
you can see Nathan's patience just slowly being cut down throughout the for the 90 minutes that they're talking.
Would you be able to sum up the conversation or just in general?
Oh, it's basically Otangelo arguing that he's because we see trees, therefore God.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty much all it is.
Yeah.
Same old.
Consider the trees, or consider the flowers.
Trees.
If you see turbines, therefore there are turbine makers. If you see turbines in cells, when you look at ATP synthase, therefore turbine builder, but not a human, it's a God.
Right. This
you just reminded me of
a turbine, therefore there must be a turbine maker. Sorry, go ahead.
You just reminded me of true empiricism. I wonder where the hell he's been all these years.
I think he went back to school.
Who?
Well, good for him.
Because he got tired of being ridiculed.
Who are we talking about?
A guy who went by. They called him TE for short, but true empiricism. He's a Christian, kind of a Christian. Yeah, he's a Christian fun guy.
That's probably why I've never heard of him.
Yeah, they called him. He very much argued about ATP synthase being, ATP synthase, therefore God, same kind of argument. And then he talked about it at length to the point to where he got the people referred to his quote unquote hypothesis on ATP synthase as ATP mayonnaise.
ATP mayonnaise. That actually really goes good with certain kinds of lunch meat.
Oh, I prefer it with a nice aioli. But anyway, or maybe a mustard, really. Either way, yeah, he
a mustard sandwich with a side of glucose.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, he was running that for a long time. He even had a conversation with Cy Gart.
Oh, okay.
And that did not go as well as he. I mean, it was a cordial conversation.
Otangelo or Nathan?
This guy, True Empiricism.
Oh, okay.
Because when people started hearing Otangelo talk about ATP, they're like, "What is this? The new True Empiricism? Is this ATP mayonnaise 2.0?"
Yes.
random fun fact about ATP, or I got this from one video I watched, so it may or may not be completely accurate, but apparently every day we synthesize enough ATP to that's equivalent to our body weight, basically, because ATP apparently isn't a very good storage molecule energy-wise.
Now, out of curiosity, do tardigrades use ATP?
Oh yeah, I would assume all life uses ATP. I mean, it's pretty widespread.
Oh, okay.
It's
I was wondering if
fundamental to glycolysis, which I know all life does. It's a pretty basic metabolic process.
Okay, because I know they've done tests on tardigrades where they can like throw them out and like they're pretty sure they can live in space and then they just thaw out and they come back alive.
Yeah, that's kind of the tricky bit. Is they say tardigrades, they can survive anywhere. Well, they kind of can, but only in what's called this ton state, where they're basically all dried up and desiccated, but not completely dead, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
But
you can
humans
kind of
need to do.
resuscitate them with water, and they'll snap back. But they're not like little squishy things out in space. They wouldn't last very long if they were.
Yeah, it's only a certain amount of exposure, but it's still pretty groovy.
Yeah, it's still pretty cool what they can do.
Yeah, that's the term, extremophile.
Survived for so long, like 500 million years.
And they don't seem to need to change, do they?
Yeah.
We do.
I
We
think
need
they're
to change.
adorable.
Well, they are adorable. But have you ever seen one up close? They're adorable, but they're kind of... I don't know. They're adorable, but they're also kind of weird.
No, that one in Star Trek Discovery could fuck up a ship.
I mean, how big was it?
The one in Star Trek Discovery?
Yeah.
About twice the size of a grizzly bear.
Oof.
Damn.
They were tardigrades.
A tardigrade, a water bear the size of a bear.
It was a special space tardigrade.
Yeah, I'd say it was probably in the show. It was probably about as big as a large Kodiak. But they kind of floated, and I think they had a smaller one. I think they caught a smaller one, but yeah, they would be like whole fields of them out. Like they were interstellar tardigrades and shit. But that's how they learned to the tardigrades could like bend space time and shit. So they kind of like it was fucking strange, but either way.
The tardigrades could bend space and time. Maybe they exist somewhere around there.
Yeah, they had a quantum drive, and the quantum drive technology came about from the tardigrades.
What?
Yeah, you just need to watch Star Trek Discovery on Paramount Plus.
I don't care for the show. I watched like half of the first season, and I was like, okay, that tardigrade would fuck somebody up. But other than that, the show's not really fucking drawing me in. So
well, it was cool to try to make a thing out of a tardigrade in science fiction.
Yeah,
that was probably the first. I don't know. Maybe there's probably some more experts in science fiction reading and literature than me out there in our side chat, but I think that they might have been the first to make tardigrades a main plot point in a science fiction novel or series.
Yeah.
If we could make a poll, I wish we could make a poll and say, what's your favorite name for this tardigrade, or what Benghazi is saying here, moss piglet or water bear? What's your favorite nickname for it?
Moss piglet, water pigs. Yeah, but mostly, I think they're also known as just moss piglets. Zafrank has a really good video on them.
I actually think I can support Maya Atkinson's opinion here. I think she may have something there going.
Oh gosh, that one time people said that tardigrades might have been from outer space. And then how weird that turned out to be.
They could have been.
I mean, all life is from outer space if we came here on asteroids. Or building blocks.
That's another conversation entirely.
What? Panspermia.
I just had this weird image of people surfing through the cosmos on fucking giant meatball or some weird. we're coming to Earth. Whee!
Well, if we're talking about names, has anyone heard of Asgard Archaea?
Huh?
I have not.
I'm guessing not. That. So yeah, basically they. I don't know how long ago it was, but apparently they discovered a new group of Archaea. You know what Archaea are, at least, right?
They're not. They're not. Eukaryotes are not prokaryotes. They're their own thing.
Yeah, they're not bacteria. They're not eukaryotes. They're their own domain.
Domain.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And basically, they found a new group that they called the Asgard Archaea from a place that they nicknamed Loki's Castle, and now they have different names for them, like Odin Archaeota, Thor Archaeota, Heimdall Archaeota, etc.
Yeah, I was about to say they have to be named after the Norse gods.
But are these things? But are these things as cool as the bacteria that eats radiation? Are they that cool, or are they?
I guess from a different perspective, like they might be the closest related group of Archaea to eukaryotes, actually, based on the ones we've found so far. And it's actually suggesting, or there are some people who are suggesting that we might actually descend from within Archaea. So instead of eukaryotes, we should be calling ourselves Archaea from now on. But that's still kind of being debated right now. So
interesting. I didn't even know such a thing.
Yeah, because basically eukaryotes are a kind of fusion between a bacterium and an archaean, and we're still trying to figure out, okay, should we model it so that we're because we are genetically closer to archaea than either of us are to bacteria, but we're kind of trying to figure out if we should kind of model it as the standard tree sort of diagram, or if we should model it so that you have bacteria on one side and archaea on the other side, and a branch from both kind of fuses together, and from there you get everything that becomes a eukaryote. So that's still being debated as far as I know, but we're still trying to collect more data on it. But it's a pretty interesting area of study right now.
Yeah,
Jay is speechless.
We left Jay speechless. What are the odds of that?
well, I was going to say, yeah, I knew what eukaryotes were. I did not know those.
Yeah, look up endosymbiosis theory for more on that.
I did not know that they existed until I guess I heard Jackson Wheat talking about it months and months ago.
Archaea?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of underappreciated too, right? Well, like we were saying, microbes in general are underappreciated.
Yeah, and don't they make up more biomass than all the other animals? You know, basically all the animals in the animal kingdom.
Yeah, probably.
Sorry, I just looked at the chat and saw what Benghazi wrote about me. Jake normally won't shut up.
Oh yeah, you won't shut up. So what the fuck, man?
I think someone's bitter because I haven't done a live stream in like over 4 weeks.
Yeah, what is it with you? No, you nor Jefferson, have y'all both taken a family break or something?
Yeah, we just basically lost interest.
Yeah, well, that's possible too.
You know what? It's for the best. Jefferson was making way too many Darth Dawkins videos. I even told him that.
Yeah.
He was just making way too many. I'm like,
you
get tired?
You are becoming engrossed with Darth Dawkins.
I mean, all right.
So, any new creationist stuff, Jay? Midnight? Any? I don't know. I haven't seen Standing or LPP do anything recently.
I've seen a few streams pop up here and there from standing, but I'm like, I don't care.
Wow, of course.
I don't know.
He's
I don't even know
constantly
what the
doing
hell.
stuff.
I don't even know what the hell I'm still subscribed.
They've been doing. I've seen Praise do some. Either like he's collabing with Standing for Truth, but it's normally biblical, more theological studies.
So Praise is still doing stuff.
Praise, yeah, he still does this. His channel is so fucking boring. The best time I had over there, the last time I was on that channel, John Maddox, he thought I was triggered because in the live chat we started talking about soy. And you know how John likes his soy boy,
Yeah.
So he came in, when he shows up on Praise's StreamYard, he's using this icon, and it's a guy wearing a shirt and in black bold letters that says soy boy on it. And so I made the joke in the live chat that I said, it looks like, I said, given the icon that John is currently using, I'm going to assume that he possibly had conversations with individuals that didn't agree with him, right? Maybe on some other channel. So then John basically starts gaslighting me by saying that I'm now triggered by his icon and that I was the person that first referenced soy. And I went, how was I the first person to reference soy if you're the one with an icon that says soy? It was hilarious. I was just like, God.
He's easily triggered. He says he isn't, but he pretty much is.
He's such a dickhead. That's the only thing I can say about him. He's
not nice usually. Well, I'll give him props in that he can moderate what's going on in his stream pretty good, but beyond that, I can't say much. Oh, did I shut everyone up?
Well, no, I was just reading Benghazi's comment. Apparently, Jay, Benghazi's talking shit about your brother. Jeff had an encounter with an amorous anaconda and needed to recover. So apparently he knows the reason why we haven't been seeing Jefferson in a while.
An amorous anaconda?
Yeah.
50-foot anaconda from outer space.
Very creative.
I know the real reason why he took the break, but I mean, if he wants to believe it was an amorous anaconda, go right ahead, I guess.
Yeah, he said that's my head canon. He'd rather believe that about Jefferson than the real reality. And
what we could call the actual reality, the amorous anaconda. What actually did it? You can just label it that.
Yeah, I have to mute my mic because I've got these audio things for the gate at work, and they make a racket.
Oh, I got you.
Like right there.
So, are you packing a 6-shooter?
What?
Are you packing a 6-shooter?
No, I don't even own a 6-shooter. I do have a 9-shooter.
Years ago, when I worked as a security guard, they just had these old guns that got maybe cleaned once a month or whatever, maybe once every 6 months, that we would just pass around to each other. So I always imagined if we ever had to use it, it would just blow up in our hands.
Oh,
yeah, this isn't where I work. It's not an armed position.
That's good. Well, that's funny. Otangelo said he was gonna pop in, and he hasn't yet. Oh well.
He'll pop in when I leave.
Oh.
Well,
just kidding. I don't know.
Guys, I'm going to give it about 6 more minutes. And unless something really good just starts happening, we'll call it quits at 5:30.
If I got anything really good, I'm just going to save it in case I do a stream tomorrow. I'm not going to waste it here.
Yeah, you're holding out on us.
Exactly.
You're holding out on us, Jay. That's what capitalism does to people.
Yeah.
For all that money you make on your
all that atheist money. All that money.
All those atheist bucks.
Event. I'm an atheist.
All those non-believing bucks.
I'm the evangelical atheist. Yeah.
Okay, what James is saying in side chat is reminding me of that phrase that just because you have quotes and then a name after it doesn't mean a person actually said that.
But gosh, anybody can check you out on the internet, so why would anybody lie?
Yeah.
To see if they can get away with it. That's why I do it. It's for giggles. It's to see what happens, you know?
You do everything for giggles, Jay.
Yeah, Jay. That's always been the perfect icon for you, Jay. You just embody it.
To say?
Well,
I mean, I don't really believe you're out there blowing up banks or whatever. But,
right.
I do believe you're.
I'll tell you one thing that I did want. I almost did it, but I didn't get the chance to do it. So T-Jump was doing a live stream, and he was live streaming from Discord. And of course, you know, this particular Discord server that he was, you know, part of was being run by, you know, Darth Dawkins, right? So I found the server. I think it was like on the politics server or something, politics Discord server or whatever. I found the chat room and I went in there. And here's all I wanted to do. I was waiting for the opportunity for when other people shut up, was to ask Darth a question about him having these conversations for every day for 12 years straight, which is, in my opinion, is just the definition of fucking insanity. And then when he got snippy and asked me why I even bothered to show up, I would say, because I wanted to plug myself on T-Jump's channel. That would have really pissed him off.
Oh, yeah, I'll bet.
And that is why you should get a Nobel Prize for tricksterism or something.
That's all I wanted to do. T-Jump's streaming this, and I just wanted to be heard on his channel. So you don't care about having a serious conversation with me, do you, sir? No, I do not. I've tried, and it has failed miserably. Got tired of getting interrupted. And I got really sick and tired of saying, when I said, I don't know, he thought that was dishonest.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, because I know everything. I know God to exist. So when I say I don't know, you know that I'm lying. Because according to you, everybody knows God to exist, right? Yeah, exactly.
Right. They've institutionalized and baptized gaslighting.
Well,
that's all the presupposition is.
If you ever want to get Darth going, just tell him that his form of precept is nothing more than theistic gaslighting. He will fucking go hate shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a better question is, why would you want to get Darth going?
Giggles.
Fair enough.
It's Mr. A Person. How you doing, sir?
Hey, James.
Hey guys, how are you tonight?
Doing great.
We have another J in the stream.
Another J. All those J people are trouble, man. You can't trust none of them.
I know.
Yep.
So today was the first time I ever saw Darth Dawkins in action on Godless Grocery stream. Yeah, I'd never followed him before. And it's interesting. I mean, it was pretty much what I expected just from the rumors. Like people...
Why are you wandering around whining?
Yeah. I mean, he's just an abusive narcissist who...
Oh, yeah.
You want to know where he got... This is what I've heard. He got started with these conversations on Xbox Live.
Well...
Like talking to teenagers on Xbox Live. And then it went from there.
Mm.
It's like that. There's a video out there where Darth is actually having a conversation with this kid, and this kid is asking Darth questions, and Darth's getting frustrated. But the funny part of the video is the kid's friend who's basically saying, dude, let's do something else. This guy's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Right.
That guy's probably the head of some corporation somewhere now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. captive desk. Thanks, Dave. Yeah, I hadn't thought of it that way before.
You popped your Darth cherry.
It's awful. It's really awful.
Hope you take a shower.
I mean, it was just so interesting. I was so tempted to jump in there because I know I could handle him better than the other people were handling him. But then I had to ask myself, do I really want to volunteer for that abuse, knowing that as soon as he realized he's not winning, he's just going to mute me anyways. And I'm like, nope, I don't really want to. So,
it all depends. It depends on how much you want to deal with, because he will. Yeah.
You're not wanting when I do that.
So I mean, I said different things in chat like to represent what I would have said, but he wasn't on Godless Girl's channel. She was just restreaming the Discord conversation, so he didn't see anything we were saying in her stream. And
I'm surprised he didn't. I'm surprised he. Wait, so Godless Girl she was streaming the Discord that Darth was in, that he was running? Oh, okay, so like, okay, yeah, because, well, lots of people have done that, not necessarily just those two, but I'm surprised. Was she actually in there as Godless Girl? I thought he had her blocked.
I don't know whose Discord it was. I just know that Darth had admin powers and was blocking people, and
it's a politics Discord server.
Because he was on politics and religion, and he was making a mess over there, and then he drifted down to politics, and I think we'll probably give it another couple of weeks or so, and then he'll be right back to Clubhouse again.
Maybe.
The king of the carnivorans has arrived.
What?
I said the king of the carnivorans has arrived.
I'm not a king. What, Jay? Something about Clubhouse and DD?
I said, is he going to go back to well, because he went to Clubhouse after he made a shambles of politics and religion server Discord, and he found I guess solace there for a little bit on Clubhouse, and then because of people having conversations with fellow Christians, having conversations with non-believers who he just basically calls slanderers and liars and slanderers and all that. He basically started isolating himself from his fellow Christians, and then he basically just kind of moved back over to Discord. I think that's how.
A lot of them were bitching at him because they were just getting sick and tired of his abusiveness in discussions, because it was driving Christians or atheists rather from joining those rooms, forcing all the Christians to have to go into the rooms where the atheists are. And so that's why he's not on Clubhouse, because his fellow Christian, he did get started on Xbox Live, I think. I don't know how he ended up moving from there to Pal Talk, but he ended up moving to Pal Talk. He got ran off of Pal Talk and then moved to, I believe it was Google Hangouts, got ran out of Google Hangouts and then moved to Discord, got ran off Discord, moved to Clubhouse, got ran off Clubhouse, and is now back on Discord.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Well, and what's run him off of all of these platforms are like Jack Gangstrike, primarily, Detroyer, Josh, the realistic nihilist, because these guys would just follow him around and troll him by just being genuine in a discussion and trying to understand what he's saying. You got to remember, Darth has an aversion to clarification. If you really want to get him riled up, just ask him what he means by what he's saying.
Yes, like you mean like the times that you did, and he just basically. Yeah. You could actually.
Anybody does that. Yeah.
You could hear his blood pressure go up. There was a conversation between Leo and Darth. There's a couple of them, but one was funny because when Leo asked, and I knew exactly what would happen, but Leo goes, "I don't know what you mean by this. Can you tell me what you mean by that?" And I swear, wearing my headphones, I could hear like an audible click of Darth Dawkins' blood pressure going, above 170.
Yeah, it's like listening to a turbocharger on a diesel engine spool up. Like you could just hear it getting higher and higher and higher. And the thing is, it doesn't drop down when he upshifts or downshifts or anything. It keeps going. It keeps going up.
The funny thing is, when he almost gets going and his microphone starts popping because he's screaming.
Oh my god!
So his microphone cuts out because he's yelling so loud.
Yeah, what you heard, Jay, that time was the clicking of cholesterol encrusted valves in his heart, just rapidly shaking.
So, James, where did you have a discussion with Darth at?
Oh, so I didn't have a discussion with him. I had a discussion about him in Godless Girls chat. And
I see.
at first, it didn't occur to me he couldn't see the chat, but then after a minute, I'm like, yeah, he can't see any of this shit. He is in Discord. So, but we still kept talking, and I would share my thoughts about what I would have said to him at different moments. But
yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen. I don't know if you've ever seen the politics servers chats, text chats. Wow.
So is most of that text chat pro-atheist or pro-Christian?
It's kind of a hodgepodge. It's a disaster in there.
The politics Discord server is not really one thing over the other. It's a pretty, I mean, I guess it's a good thing that it is a pretty decent mix of liberal, conservative, leftist, religious, non-religious, atheist. Like, there's a decent mix, but I would argue, I don't think it's a very well moderated server. I remember like 5 or so, like, now this had to have been either late last year or early this year. I joined the server, and I joined a chat room, and they were talking something with like religion and philosophy, and I chimed up to ask a question for clarification because I wasn't understanding what somebody was saying, and there were already a couple people engaged in a conversation. I just wanted clarification so that I could follow it. And so I piped up to ask, and then I was pretty much completely shut down, told to shut up. Well, this is a one-on-one. I'm like, look, I'm just trying to follow the discussion. I just wanted clarification. Well, if you keep interrupting, you're going to get muted. I'm like, so people aren't allowed? Like, if you want a 1v1, then take it to the 1v1 stage. But don't have this in a room where like 20 other people can join and then tell them you're going to mute them if they talk. And then they muted me and been on the server since then.
Damn.
Sounds like another SFB mod moderation. Remember when SFB mod had moderation over, like, can't remember which one that was. It's one that One Way runs now. I can't remember the Discord server.
Oh, Discord server.
Yeah, One Way Apologetics, Rusty.
I don't think I know who that is.
Yeah, but you remember Joel, SFB mod?
Yeah, Joel. Yeah, I know who Joel is.
Yeah,
the guy who consistently ran for me at every given opportunity because he had no fucking clue what he was talking about.
Oh my God. That guy had the weirdest fucking ideas of how 5G.
I feel like he is who Elon Musk would be if Elon Musk never grew up wealthy. Like, I'm sorry, that's exactly who Elon Musk would be if Elon Musk wasn't who he is now. He would be that guy.
Possibly. I don't necessarily disagree with that. He just the fact that he used to say, "Oh yeah, when I worked for Elon," and then come to find out, I don't even think he was like a contractor or something. He did some kind of a job for Tesla, but didn't actually work for Tesla directly.
And I don't even think it had anything to do with like what Tesla does. I think it had to do with like other maybe like accounting stuff or something like that.
Yeah, because he said, "Oh yeah, I worked on the SpaceX," and he goes, "And we prayed. That's how that rocket ended up working, because we prayed." I'm like, he said that on. I think he said that on Praise's channel.
Really?
That SpaceX thing that kept failing. It kept failing. It kept failing. And then one day we all gathered around and we all prayed to God, and look at that, hallelujah, it worked. I'm like, holy shit!
This is how you know. This is how you know that Joel doesn't know science, because if he did, he'd understand that correlation does not equate to causation.
Exactly.
Right.
Where the fuck is Speed at? Why did he just leave his stream? Well, I suppose Scott can shut it down.
He had a
he had some sort of appointment or something that he had to do. But now he's in the side chat. Well,
because I was going to say, me and Speed actually found him on, I think it was LinkedIn. Like almost everything he said about him and his credentials is false, except for I think like one thing, and it wasn't even that profound.
I still remember him accusing me of being a pogue.
A what?
He was okay. So he was in the Army, and I was in the Army. So we're both veterans. But I was combat arms. So I was infantry, and in the infantry there is a term that, well, the term is actually originally it's a derogatory term for homosexuals. But later it became the term it came to refer to as POG, Pogue, persons other than grunts. Right? So apparently Joel decided that I was actually a Pogue because I forgot what being in the Army was all about, and it was about serving God.
What?
So I was opposed.
Yes, joining the U.S. military is 100% about serving God and not at all about taking innocent human beings and sending them to foreign countries to further the interests of the capitalist class. It's definitely not the second one.
Hey, tell Joel that, because he had I was like, so you're actually the Pogue because you were Camo. I was not a Pogue because I was combat arms. Yeah, but a real infantry, a real soldier who understands what the Army is about. That's what a Pogue really is. I'm like, oh, so we're just changing the definitions up. I see.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can get away with when you're just a dishonest hack.
Yep, indeed.
You can just change the definition of words on a whim and backpedal consistently and refuse to provide any form of clarification. Like John Lee on a Clubhouse. One thing, and I think Jay will probably be the only one here that'll really know this if he's seen enough of John Lee. I know he knows who he is, but
yeah.
Is that John Lee will make some sort of argument, and then like Tom or Jack or Haiti will be like, well, that doesn't work for X, Y, and Z reasons. And then John, oh, what? Not a minute. No, I wasn't saying. He just starts backpedaling and completely changing what his argument was every time he's met with an objection. And then they'll give an objection to that, and then he'll be like, well, no, I wasn't claiming that either. Like, it's so fucking hilarious.
Lied. I listened to one of those, and they caught him lying like 4 or 5 times and kept going.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote in the chat, I said, you guys have already, and I'm sure somebody recorded it. I'm sure either Tom or CHD or, Kaz or whatever. I was like, you've already caught this guy lying 5 fucking times. And you guys are still going. He's just going to keep lying. Stop already. But they kept going. I was like, this is truly, they must be getting some kind of enjoyment out of this, because Jesus Christ, he was just, they'd catch him, and I can't even remember, because Haiti asked him, it wasn't Haiti, it was Jane. Jane repeated this question, and it was something to do with humans being creatures.
Love Jane, man.
Jane was saying that humans are, okay, God creates creatures have nature, so God creates nature, and then he goes, yes, and then later on he said, no, I never said that. She goes, you agreed. And he goes, yeah, but I never said it. I'm like, fucking God.
Oh, Jesus. See what I mean? When you're dishonest, words can mean whatever you need them to mean at any convenient instance, and they can change the next minute.
The narcissism playbook.
Yep.
That's exactly it. Or the teenager playbook.
They asked me a question about ice cream.
We going to get some ice cream?
No.
I'm the only one here that's going to get that joke.
What?
Well, there's a joke in the...
What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? Is it Superman ice cream?
There's a joke in the diesel motorsports industry. Guys who build up like big diesel, not really big, but diesel engines, your Power Strokes, Cummins, Duramax, and do drag racing, sled pulling, dynoing, like put it on a dynamometer so you know how much rear wheel power it makes. And they always talk about, well, can you go get ice cream in it? And it's talking about whether it's still like it's often called a daily drivable vehicle, where there is it so souped up that you can't actually legally drive it on the road? Like when you have, it's called a solid block where all the coolant holes and everything are actually filled with cement. You can't, I don't even think you can legally drive those on the road. So that's sort of a joke, is like, can you get ice cream in it? Like, is it a daily drivable vehicle?
I'm sure in Michigan someone has done that.
Oh, definitely. I'm sure in Iowa and in Kentucky and in Illinois and in Virginia and in South Carolina and in Indiana, if I didn't already say that. Well, I know a lot of people that do it, actually.
For clarification, I was going to try and use the same logic that the guy you were talking about was when you were going to ask me a question, Jay, but screw it. I'm not going to put myself to that.
No, don't. When it came to John Lee, and like I said, I may not have been actually accurately representing the conversation, because Jane was very much holding. It's what John, and I'm sure Leo will agree with me on this. It's what's typically happens with John Lee when people start holding his feet to the fire.
Oh,
he just pretends they're not melting off.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know why ice cream came to my mind first. I don't know. Maybe I'm just hungry.
Maybe you could tell I was eating ice cream while this conversation was taking place.
Are you?
We could empathically intuit that Scott was eating ice cream, and now we all want ice cream.
It's all gone now. But,
did you go get that ice cream in your big pick 'em up truck, Scott?
No, in my Mazda CX-5.
So it is a kind of vehicle that you can go get ice cream in, is what you're saying.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You can go get ice cream in it. In fact, I did go get ice cream in it.
Well, while we're on the subject,
ice cream?
Diesel engines? Yeah, I love talking about diesel engines.
Wait, so you guys have heard of Baskin Robbins, obviously, right?
Of course. Who hasn't?
Okay. Hey, just making sure. I guess. Oh, it's the usual place where I get ice cream now, but or the good ice cream, if you know what I mean. But I think I forgot who asked originally, but my favorite flavor I think would be there's this one flavor called icing on the cake, and it's basically what would happen if you turned cake frosting into ice cream, and it's really rich and sweet, but I love it so much.
I gotta be honest, I'm kind of more of a frozen custard person.
I like
it's a little creamier and a little bit more rich. And, it's so fuck. That's because it's made with eggs.
Where do you go to get it? Like at a shop? What's the
Freddy's?
Freddy's.
Culver's also sells custard.
Oh no, we lost Jay.
I have to see if we have one around here.
You're in Texas, right?
Tejas, yes.
Yeah, I doubt you'd have Culver's down there, but I would imagine I'm almost certain there's Freddy's in Texas, isn't there?
I don't know. I've never noticed. There may be, but not having had much custard.
Oh yeah, there's some Freddy's in Freddy's frozen custard and steak burgers, and their burgers are oh my god. And I love their fries, their little shoestring fries. Their fry sauce is great. Their custard, it's just a fucking good place to go.
Man, we're making everybody in the side chat hungry.
I bet.
I know we lost at least one of them to getting ice cream. Probably somebody's going for a burger now too.
I don't know. Maybe he lost his connection or something.
Oh, what happened to Jay?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, fucking Benghazi's comment. Remember when Scott mentioned ending the stream in 6 minutes? Pepperidge Farms remembers.
Yeah, but then Leo came in.
So there was that caveat there, wasn't there, Scott?
And James came in, and we had to give him time. So
I'm just here for hero support.
For support, huh?
Hey, yeah. CRISPR's here. Maybe CRISPR can come in. I don't know.
I really want to just fucking destroy some Freddy's right now. I'm not gonna lie. But I don't want to drive an hour and 15 minutes away to go get it.
Answers in Atheism. Good for retail food.
CRISPR Cas9. Do they have a channel that teaches us how to do CRISPR? I want to know. I want to alter my genes.
Oh, I don't think he talks about that specifically. I may be wrong though.
See, we've got Maya thinking about it.
It really is a good. Oh man,
Nerdy just went way off the deep end here.
It's too radical. I can't.
Yeah, like what? Cold beef, like frozen beef, something that tastes like a burger but is that cold. That's not right. That's just not. I dare say that's like metaphysically incoherent.
Call it found in a glacier.
So what if you mixed it with hot sauce to trick your brain into thinking it's hot burgers?
Well, then it would just be spicy.
Oh yeah, that's true.
A cold, spicy burger.
I think the only meat that I can handle frozen is frozen pizza. Or maybe just really cold pizza. But technically, I guess that's not solid meat.
Okay, we're gonna do a hard cutoff at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock Eastern. Just letting everybody know. But this conversation is just cool. I like it for this time in the evening.
Yeah, we got some good microbe content. We didn't get to proteins, unfortunately. That's
Well,
well.
I think we're just using that as a teaser to get people to come back.
Yeah.
You come for the microbes, return for the proteins. That's how our marketing plan goes.
We have a marketing plan?
Yeah, weren't you at the meeting?
We have a whole marketing team.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
We atheists are organized.
That's why we make the dollar bills.
I wouldn't get your hopes up though. We're planning on selling to Elon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Atheism will be gone in 3 weeks' time.
That's right.
Yeah, like if the Christians want to get rid of atheism, just sell it to Elon Musk. Like seriously, what are you guys doing? And then the church can get $44 billion, and then they can always keep the lights on because apparently God needs money.
Apparently he does. That's the one thing he didn't create himself, I guess.
I need money too. Can somebody give me money?
That's the one thing he's not
all about the money,
self-sustaining with.
Okay,
Hey, Leo,
Nerdy
I
Rodent
left
has
because-
officially strayed into heretical beliefs here.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So sorry, go ahead, Midnight.
Nah, I just want to say.
Hey, what's up, Midnight? What you been doing?
Just here and there.
Here
Leo,
and there and everywhere.
1,000 subscriber special was pretty cool. Because, holy shit, CRISPR's in the chat. Where the fuck has he been for these? what is it,
Yeah,
like a
he hasn't
year?
been
Well, I
here
mean,
in a while.
he is a PhD student, isn't? Either that or like a postdoc. One of the
Yeah.
two. Like they, PhD
has
students
a
literally
life.
live on ramen noodles, Campbell's soup, Monster, and coffee, or Red Bull if you prefer that. That's it. That's their diet. Oh, and 3 hours of
I
crying
took a
before
different
bed every
approach
night.
with that. I was just gonna say he has a life and we don't. But yours.
Wait, hold on.
That's
Wait,
sad.
wait. You think PhD students have a life? You actually think PhD students have a life?
I'd hope they do because I'm probably gonna pick on one at some.
Well, they don't.
Oh, well,
You,
that's
you know what PhD students do have?
a PhD.
Too much to do and too little fucking time to get it done. That's what they have. Obviously, I'm being facetious with my comments, but there's
Right.
kind of maybe some truth to some of it. Maybe a lot of truth to a lot of it. I only know just from talking with so many. I've never pursued a PhD, but you talk to enough of them, you get an image of what life is like as a PhD student.
Yeah, next time you encounter a PhD student, just hand him a box of macaroni. Just think about him. Here's some
Gotta get
macaroni.
those
Just
carbs in.
get a little energy for them, a little pleasure in life, so they can get back to their Bunsen burners and library searches.
So what's going on?
What's going on?
I'm surprised, but Otangelo didn't come in.
Yeah, I know, right? Speed
I'm
left.
actually kind of not.
Jay's gone.
Well, I kind of hinted that he would have had to talk about something other than his typical bullshit.
He just saw the word proteins and thought he was going to come and lecture us about things that are not true.
Yeah.
Gur is coming at you midnight.
What's he say?
Midnight always
brightens up
brings
my
something like
day. I kick names and take ass. Okay, Gur is gay confirmed, or at least
Wait,
bisexual.
how is taking ass being gay? Like you could be fucking a woman. That's not gay. Unless you are also a woman.
that. So we're going on this. now,
Well,
right?
have you met Gur? I'm pretty sure he's actually a woman.
Well, he does have a girlfriend, so pretty sure he's not gay. He might be bi. He could be bi. I don't know. Never asked.
Yes, let us praise Captive Desk for being the first one here and still going through it all the chaos.
I think we might just start calling him Dedicated Dave because that's what he is. Dedicated.
Yeah, that'd be good.
By the way, he has a channel by the same name, Captive Desk. If you guys don't already know, you should go check it out and give him a subscribe and give him some likes and start setting all your bots to mass watch his videos.
I just awarded him some speed bumps.
You can have
Speed.
bots.
Oh, that's fucking cool. Speed bumps.
Yeah, that's
you didn't know about
that's the
the
currency
speed
we
bump?
use around here in Answers in Atheism Land.
Good for a nice chocolate bar at the,
We got
the
Pine
local grocery
Coins. We
store.
got Nathan Nichols, and now we have Speed Bumps. Jesus fucking Christ.
Nitty has something too, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I think he did.
Who did?
Nitty.
Yeah, I can't remember what they were though.
Nitty Niches.
Nitty Nichols?
I don't know.
Nitty Nichols? I think maybe it was.
Something like that. I don't know.
No,
Like it was
that
like
can't
Nitty
be two
Nichols or
Nichols.
something.
Lion Loot. Confirmed
Hey,
Leo
Leo,
is
when
an
I,
intellectual pirate.
When I take us out of here, Leo, in 5 minutes, would you do your like in your best announcer voice, Answers in Atheism?
I don't have a good announcer voice.
Well, then just say it in your normal voice.
Answers in Atheism.
Like Answers
Answers in Atheism.
I'm going to make one for Danny, and it's going to be called Danny Drachmas.
There you go. Danny needs to give out drachmas.
Gurgold.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Do you have any Gurgold?
Gurgle.
No, that just sounds like gurgle. And that doesn't sound good. Gurgle,
I'm trying to
gurgle.
think of what James's currency would be.
I think I need a new name for YouTube before I can make a currency. And I'm open to suggestions. I just can't think of one yet, but I will. I will eventually.
James Jules. I don't know.
There we go.
Although that's an energy currency, not a money currency. Oh well.
That's true. That's true.
Well, jewels can be monetary currency. People do like diamonds.
Oh.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
That's true.
Unless, of course, you're an ethical person, and then you have to worry about the source.
You know, see, diamonds might be a girl's best friend, but zircons are a geologist's best friend. Everyone should know that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm a proponent of underpaid labor. I think it's because if you take that away from those people in those underdeveloped nations, now they've got no income at all. So
Yeah, and then eventually they'll be self-actualized.
We wouldn't want that.
How annoying would like self-actualization be if we reach like, at least 90% self-actualization? That would be a disaster.
I don't think I understand the concept self-actualization.
That's part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs or something.
I don't think I know what that is.
Wow.
Oh,
it is an old concept.
Yeah, well, I'm not a fan of the concept of hierarchies, particularly in our social system, so I'd probably reject it anyway.
Well, it's like in personal development, like you have essentially the first needs you have are for survival. Once needs for survival are met and you have more free time, then
didn't a guy named Karl Marx already talk about this? And he called it historical materialism.
I do not know the.
So what century did this guy that you're talking about exist in?
I'm thinking he came to his own in the
1900s. The 1900s.
What was it? 1960s, you said? Yeah, that guy.
Midnight. What were you referring to?
Well, no, I was asking you, this Maslow guy.
Yeah.
What was his era?
And I
Like
was
the 1700s, the 1800s. But I was asking Scott.
Yes.
I mean, no disrespect, but you guys know me. One of my biggest pet peeves is when people answer questions whom I didn't ask the question to. No disrespect, but that is a pet peeve of mine.
I'm taking a pause from answering your question to verify Midnight's source because he may correct my impression of when Maslow did his work.
How do you spell that?
Maslow, 1943 to 1954, stated that people were motivated to achieve certain needs, and that some needs take precedence over others. Fun
so
fact.
Just plagiarized Marx.
Well,
sure, okay, no, but fun
well,
fact about
technically, yes.
Well, being that to me, that's not exclusive to Marx, but he was applying it to psychology.
Yeah, Marx kind of did too.
economics and
well, more sociology and philosophy of sociology.
Yeah. So I don't see that as a problem, but it's interesting that you mentioned Marx. I would like to now see about how much Maslow relied on Marx.
What were you going to say, Midnight?
I mean, I was gonna say that fun fact, the pyramid of needs that you usually see shown in in psychology, even psychology textbooks, was not actually created by Maslow. It was actually created by some, I don't know what the fuck was it, some corporation or something. But
really?
Maslow, what?
I said, really?
Yes. It's in the book. It's in the book. It's in the book Transcend. Really good book. I still gotta finish it. But but basically, Maslow believed that our needs, that our needs are dynamic, right? You could have your needs for for shelter and all that met, but at the same time. But at the same time, those needs could also be taken away, right? Because just because you have a shelter doesn't mean it's permanent, right? You know what I mean? The pyramid makes it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The pyramid gives the impression that that it's like a differently, it's like a level, right? Well, once these are achieved, you go to the next level. No, it's dynamic, right?
Right. Well, you're not going to have self-actualization if you're still living in poverty and can't meet your own needs.
Well, I still think it is true that if your basic needs are met, you have the ability to engage in more recreational activities versus people who have to consistently be worried about meeting their immediate needs. This is why when we look throughout history, a majority of like the most famous philosophers and scientists and inventors have been wealthier people who didn't have to spend 12 or 15 or 16 hours a day slaving away in a field to meet their basic needs, their basic material needs. They already had those met, and in virtue of that, were capable of pursuing broader personal interests.
So, Leo, I have a quick question for you. Why do you hate hierarchies?
Because I think that they disincentivize meaningful cooperation between humans. They create distinctions between humans, and it is in these distinctions that many of the problems that woe our society are rooted.
Okay, so don't you think the hierarchies naturally form?
No. Well, it depends on what you mean.
Well, on that note,
hierarchies didn't exist in our societies until about 6,000, maybe 6,500 years ago.
Yeah.
So for like 90% of human history, they didn't live under hierarchical systems. We didn't start living under hierarchical systems until we developed the productive forces capable of producing more than what tribes needed. And it is in that the distinctions between classes eventually developed, and class society was cemented in human society, and we still currently live under a class society. I mean, but nothing I'm saying is like factually incorrect, though.
Yeah, I agree with Leo. He's making much sense, and we're going to take this discussion into the back room as we're going to end the live stream right now. Thank you, everybody in the side chat, for joining us. You are the backbone of our live stream efforts, and I want to thank everybody who was part of this panel today.
Some of you were also the front bone, just so you know.
Yeah, you're the front bone. You're the boner of this live stream. So say good night to everybody, panel.
Bye.
Good night.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.